from Utah, Mr. Curtis, for
Thank
5
you.
minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Administrator, we've heard a lot, not just today in this room, but often in this room about reducing emissions and the importance of our global carbon footprint. And I'd like to discuss to you today, with you today, my concerns with your new chemicals office slow rate of approval in approving our next generation of innovative American technologies. You recently told the Senate that as an administrator that you respect the letter of the law. That implies to me everything the way it's supposed to be. Yet the GAO reported that EPA new chemicals reviews are getting increasingly worse at meeting statutory deadlines. I understand you don't meet any deadlines. Last year, you literally had a success rate of 0 on meeting deadlines. I find that statistically almost impossible. It would seem like you could stumble into a couple on time. And I'd like to know your response to that, and I'm certainly hoping you won't say funding. Under President Trump and President Obama, they had some of the same concerns, yet they made good progress on these issues. I understand user fees are up 600%, which is 25% of the overall budget. So can you tell me what the problem is and how we're going to solve it and why it's not a priority? It's not even in your budget objectives to address this. So why is it not a priority?
It is in our budget. We have asked for resources on the
I'm talking your
side.
budget objectives.
Well, and so let me just say, you referenced.
And don't tell me money.
Under the Obama administration and Trump administration, they did a better job. The courts would disagree with you, and now we're having to deal with
Can you
all of those.
explain how 0 is better than what's been done previously? I'm talking 0.
Number one, I'd have to look at that 0 number, but number two, when you're having
Well, let
to
me
do
give you the
homework,
benefit of doubt and say it's 5%.
when you
Right?
have
Let me give you the benefit and said it's 10%. How is that acceptable? Remember, these chemicals are critical for many things in the healthcare industry, reducing emissions, something we all care deeply about, and it doesn't seem like it's even on your radar. It almost feels like there's a purposeful, let's not approve these. Do you not like them? And then let me
Absolutely
ask
not.
this. So you've also stated that you want to go back and review previous chemicals because they maybe shouldn't have been approved. How do you propose to do that when you're not even dealing with the current chemicals?
That's a good question for the courts. It's not that I choose to go back and look at these chemicals. The courts have mandated that during prior administrations that they didn't follow the letter of the law or they didn't use the latest science to evaluate these.
So you're telling me they did not follow the letter of the law. Can you give me some specifics?
The courts have remanded a number of decisions back to the agency and said, redo this homework.
Okay, so how do you propose to redo that homework when you're not doing your current homework?
The way you do that is, number one, you follow the law. Number two, you learn from what
Right, the law says, let's follow the law says, get it done.
it does.
Right, it gives you very clear deadlines. So we're not following the law.
So you're suggesting, though, that I can dig out from past transgressions and do my current job without adequate resources.
So what
The math just doesn't add
what
up.
are the, okay, tell me what adequate resources you're lacking. Fees are up 600%. What resources, why is it always about money
I
to
think
get
we should
things, to
take
do a better job?
I think we should take a look at the personnel that exist in this office today, and you can go back to 1990, 1980, 2000. We have significantly lost over 200 employees. We're down from like past offices, and so
So, Mr. Administrator, that's your job. That is your job. If you're down 200 employees, that is your job. Why are you losing employees?
because Congress cut the budget. Because you
Your
guys cut
fees
the
are up
budget.
600%. Don't blame it on us, right? Why is this always a money issue? You're telling me there's
think
not a
this is a-
single thing in your organization that can't be fixed without more money? Productivity,
Well, let me tell you.
is tied into productivity?
We are working night and day to play catch up from what others didn't do correctly while trying
Wow,
to do
do you know
our
what
job.
that sounds like? Do you understand what that sounds like? It's like, not my fault, it's those other guys' fault. That's
I'm the
not
administrator.
acceptable.
I'm accountable.
Yeah, and
Which
so,
is why I'm asking you for
Mr.
the
Administrator,
resources. Because I'm 200 people less than other
how about a 600% increase in fees?
I'd have to revisit that number. That sounds like a sleight of hand to me. I don't, I'd have to revisit that number. But I
Okay,
can tell
here
you,
we are.
we don't have the people.
You want to
do the
revisit
job.
the 0 number, you want to revisit the 600 number. Let's just get these things done.
I'd love to talk to you so we can revisit
Okay.
all of it, because I want the personnel to get it done. It's
All right.
the ag industry,
Mr.
it's the
Administrator,
semiconductor
I'm out of
industry.
time.
All of these industries want me to do this, and I'm trying my best to do it.
Will the gentleman yield?
Yes.
I think it's interesting, here we are talking about the lack of personnel, and yet we're looking at over $100 billion of out-of-cycle funding that has gone to the EPA on top of regular appropriation funding. And we're talking about not enough money to pay for people.
Yeah,
I think it's
I would just like my last point to be, it's not always about the money.
That's right.
There are so many other aspects of efficiency, and so I'm fortunately out of time, Mr. Chairman. I yield.
thank the gentleman for yielding.